G'day YouTube and welcome back with some more FIFA 13 Connected Career Mode. Of course it is Brett here from Overtime Gaming with you, and we are once again back with some more Newcastle United FIFA 13 Connected Career Mode. The Toon Army, the Black and White Army, the Mighty Magpies, and we're away from home today in our first game out of the transfer window. We're against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. You can see there Hugo Lloris getting the first start for Newcastle in his career. Hugo Lloris, a straight swap for Jeremy Menez in the transfer deadline day. So we look at the Chelsea bench there, supported by Alkington. Alkington, of course, is my friend who had just logged on to Xbox at the time. But you see there's a very strong Chelsea side. They have got Benzema on the bench there as well. Not quite sure why Bar gets the start over Benzema, but that's how it works. And we have a number of debutants today, guys. Hugo Lloris in goal. Isamat Marin in centre defence, Jan Mbiwa in centre defensive midfield, and Loic Remy up front. Just a bit of a rotation today, guys, with a number of new guys in there. We have got the FA Cup tomorrow against Scunthorpe, so hopefully we can advance there. But we wanted to put out a decent side against Chelsea, but hope that we could pull off a win as well. So we decided to give all of our new players a start, to get their debuts out the way and just to see how things can go. Now, of course, yesterday, guys, was the last day of the Barclays Premier League season. It means we're only a week away from the Champions League final. So it's definitely going to be a rough old time for us footballing YouTubers that are going to lose a bit of the stuff to talk about with the lack of football going on. But of course, yesterday was an eventful day. Third and fourth place was still up for grabs, with Arsenal going up against Newcastle and Tottenham going up against Sunderland for the battle for fourth place. And of course, Chelsea played yesterday as well. Now, Chelsea picked up their win that they needed. Torres actually scored a goal, and it was an absolutely lovely finish for him. And I'm going to be the first person to sort of say this, guys. If you follow me on Twitter, you've already noticed this. But I'm betting next season Fernando Torres will be back. He will be back to his normal self. He scored 5 goals this year in a down year, and I'm betting 20 to 25 goals for Fernando Torres next year. Now, if you want to take me up on that bet, we can bet something. If you want to actually have a proper bet with me, just send me an inbox and we can actually arrange that if you want. But that's what I'm thinking for Fernando Torres next year. I am a big fan of Torres. I've loved him for ages, to be fair. I think Chelsea just need to give him the chance. They needed to give him the support up front. He's not a lone striker. They should be playing him with another striker, which could in fact be someone like Lukaku next season. So it's just a big day, to be fair. And of course, speaking of Lukaku, he scored a hat-trick yesterday coming off the bench for West Brom. Now, he scored a hat-trick in the space of around half an hour. Now, if he could do that in half an hour, imagine what he could have done if he had started the game. But is it Steve Clarke or Tony Pulis? Steve Clarke, I believe. I can't really remember. The West Brom manager decided not to start him in what is more than likely his last game for the club. Of course, he is on loan from Chelsea. And I know there's a lot of speculation going around that he might be loaned back to West Brom and stuff like that. But in my opinion, Chelsea will use him next year. He had no chance of starting for Chelsea this year. But I really do think Mourinho, who of course will be the new Chelsea manager next year, it's not been 100% confirmed, but we all pretty much know it, will be using Lukaku much better than any other manager could have. And of course, he scored the hat-trick yesterday in what was a 5-5 draw. West Brom came back from 3 goals down. It was a fantastic game. It was a fantastic way to send off Ferguson. The only way I would have changed it would be the fact that Man United would have scored a 90th minute winner to just send off Ferguson the way he deserves. I'm obviously not a huge fan of Ferguson personally, but we all know I think his coaching ability is second to none. He is absolutely fantastic. But I just think he's a bit of an arse. But I think he's an outstanding manager. Now, I'm one of those people that are campaigning for a special card on FIFA Ultimate Team, obviously. I've actually come up with the idea that I think there should be a special manager card for Ferguson, like an informed manager card, that sort of thing. And this goal by Juan Mata's a killer. Lloris was hoping for a debut clean sheet, but unfortunately he can't get out quick enough to this Mata break, who sneaks it underneath him. Look at this again. It's a lovely ball through, poor covering defence, and Lloris just can't get down quick enough and it sneaks underneath his leg. Not the way we wanted Lloris to start, but hey, Ruffier started a similar way, and we all know Lloris is a hell of a lot better keeper than Ruffier. So hopefully Lloris can turn it around a lot quicker than Ruffier did. Now, as I was saying, I think there should be a special card on Ultimate Team for Ferguson. Something that adds his contracts and adds his team talks to like 5% or something like that. So, I just think that's something he deserves. Alongside that, obviously David Beckham retired this week. And if you didn't see it, it was definitely an emotional game. Shows how big of an icon he is, when even all the French supporters and stuff were holding up signs asking him for one more year. And the fact that he's only been at PSG for half a season, and you saw the impact he had on every player there, was outstanding. He came off the pitch crying, of course, and it's 2-0 now, guys. Lloris couldn't do anything about that, and on the 45th minute, Mata scores his second. Not the way we wanted to go in at half time, but what can you do? It's again poor defending, and the shot just sneaks in under him. As I was saying, it was emotional. When Bex came off for a substitution, all the PSG players made a huddle in the middle of the pitch for him and just paid their respects to him. It was an incredible scene. He then obviously came off. Lavezzi messed up his hair, blah, blah, blah. And it was just an emotional scene. Bex started crying. Then at the end of the game, Bex came back on and all the PSG players just picked him up and started throwing him in the air. It's the sort of impact you like to see from a player, and all these stories that say how much of a good guy he is. You can see are true when things like that happen. I'm a huge fan of David Beckham. I've grown up watching him. He's one of my heroes, and I just love him, and I'd love to pay my respects to him as well. And of course, we go to the Newcastle game now, guys. Arsenal did beat us 1-0, and it was a lovely goal by Koscielny. I'll put it out there. I've also campaigned for a Koscielny man of the match card from yesterday. FIFA actually told me they can't do man of the match cards for league games because it's not a cup competition or anything like that. But my point was the fact that Koscielny had just booked Arsenal a place in the Champions League over their rivals Tottenham with an outstanding goal. And we do get one back. Loic Remy gets his debut goal. Not quite sure how he managed to get it. Cabaye was the man with a shot and looked like to be going towards the top corner, and all of a sudden just took a massive rebound. We'll have a look at it again here. Cabaye with a massive shot, and it just hits Remy's back heel and goes in the net. Lucky goal for Newcastle, but Remy will take any goal he can get for his debut goal. Maybe we can push back into it. It's only the 56th minute. We've got a lot of time for a comeback. Can we spark a nice comeback to get us some points here against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge? But as I was saying, the impact Koscielny had on Arsenal as a whole, he's been absolutely outstanding since Christmas, to be fair. And, well, since the Tottenham loss even. And yesterday's game was worthy of a man of the match card on Ultimate Team. He booked him a place in the Champions League, made them finish above their rivals, meant that they're in the Champions League for 17 straight years now. And it's just absolutely incredible, to be fair, and he definitely deserves it. I think he'll be in a second in form, but I just thought he deserved the man in the match. Of course, in that game, Cisse missed another sitter, and that just proves to me how much in need of a goal-scoring striker we are. Of course, there was that rumour I told you about Wayne Rooney, and if that happens, I'll be ecstatic. Wayne Rooney's the sort of player we need. I'm more thinking along the lines of someone like Aubameyang. I think that would be an absolutely incredible deal if we managed to pull him off. And that's who I'm hoping to sign. Of course, if you haven't heard, there is a new rumour for Newcastle. It's only a minor rumour. I think it's more of a joke rumour, to be fair. They're on about a switch with PSG to bring Matuidi to Newcastle. Of course, who is in for the Player of the Season running in Liga 1. And then send Tiote and Cash the other way to PSG. I think it's a half-decent deal. I think Newcastle will get the better end of the deal. Matuidi is an absolutely incredible player and has huge potential, and is actually on my shortlist in this career mode. So I hope that is a real rumour and it does happen, but I just don't see it happening. I don't see why PSG would get rid of one of their best players. Now, of course, speaking of PSG, Ancelotti released a statement this morning that he has asked to leave PSG. And to me, that shows that he is the next manager of Real Madrid. He's been heavily linked with Madrid, and now he's asked for a leave. I think has just sealed the fact that he is off to Real Madrid and Mourinho is off to Chelsea. So that's what I think is happening in the football world. If there's anything you guys want to tell me about, any transfer news, any opinions on anything, don't know if you've all seen the new Liverpool kit. That's quite nice. What's your opinion on that sort of stuff? Anything you want to tell me, just let me know. And as you can see, Karim Benzema comes on for Demba Ba. Benzema's a guy we really want to sign. Fortunately, we haven't got the money just yet. However, if I can get some funds in the next transfer window from the board, as well as selling a few players, we're definitely going to make a play for Benzema. I think he's an absolutely incredible player, and I would love to have him up front, possibly playing alongside Niang, or moving Niang out to the wing and selling Sissoko. Actually, you know what? I'm going to ask that deal now. What would you think of that deal? Selling most of Sissoko, we could get around 12 million for Sissoko. And using the money to bring in Benzema and hopefully Granera from Lyon as well. So what do you guys think of those deals? Obviously, they're just speculation right now. We're not sure what we're going to do in the transfer window. But what would you think of me selling Sissoko to allow us to get Benzema and Granera? Just let me know in the comment section below. Of course, get the comments rolling in for comment of the week, guys. In for a chance to be entered into the comment of the year competition. Which of course can win you a reward, which will be something like Xbox Live points or PlayStation Network voucher. So definitely get involved for your chances. As you can see, we do lose 2-1 here against Chelsea. Not the result we were looking for, but nothing awful against a very good Chelsea side, to be fair. We didn't play too bad. Remy got his first goal for the club. You can see Arsenal lose to Man United there as well. And that's all we've got for this episode, guys. In the next one, we have got the FA Cup final, not final, FA Cup game, a League Cup game, sorry, against Scunthorpe. So tune in tomorrow to check that one out. And just remember to leave a comment, subscribe, share the video, guys. Remember to leave a like for me because I really do need that. And peace out, YouTube. We're heading into overtime.